And welcome, it is ThatSrb2DUDE here today, bringing you yet another episode of Worth of a Gear perk. Now today we are going to be going through the Worth of Ink Recovery. Now personally, in my opinion, I feel like Ink Recovery is a much stronger perk compared to Splatoon 1. This is for many different things, because in Splatoon 1 there are different weapons, different sets, and generally Ink Recovery isn't really needed besides for charges and stuff. But in this game specifically, considering gun skill is much more worth... But in this game specifically, because gun skill is much more of a thing that you have to kind of look out for, I feel like Ink Recovery just helps a ton because it will keep you into facing against your opponents and such. Like, I guess one situation is when you're facing up against an opponent and you're kind of playing like the stalling game where you're just like shooting at somebody. You're just like, okay, I'm shooting at you, dude. I'm shooting at you. All right, I'm running out of a little bit of ink. I'm going to shock a little bit. Just see watch what you're doing, watch how your movements are, and then you pop out again to try and finish out the opponent, or basically to spook them out. Anyway, a little bit of a tangent there, but you know, just me expressing and you know, spurting out my mind to you guys and how I feel or how I think the use of Ink Recovery could be used and stuff like that. But anyways, let's get into those tests. Ink Recovery, I'm going to be testing how fast Ink Recovery can be with 1 main, 2 mains, 3 mains, and no mains. Right now we don't have any mains of Ink Recovery, so we're going to be testing that and see how many seconds it takes. And yeah, let's just get right into it. This is the first test with no mains of Ink Recovery. This is the second test with 1 main of Ink Recovery. This is the third test with 2 mains of Ink Recovery. And this is the last test with 3 mains of Ink Recovery. Okay, so please note that I tried to do these tests as accurately as I possibly could, and these are the results I had came up with. And as you can see, when I add 1 main to these tests, you can see that the timer usually goes down by 0.03 of a second, and the frames are about 20 less seconds for you to have a full tank. Now, looking at all these tests, it doesn't look too promising to actually put any types of Ink Recovery into any gear builds that you make. But the key thing that we want to take away from this is that this is the amount of frames and seconds that it takes to refill a full tank of ink. Now, the majority of time in gun battles, you're going to only be refilling a quarter of ink or half a tank of ink. Now, basically how you're going to work these out is that for half an ink tank, you're just going to need to half the amount of seconds and frames it took in the test. And a quarter of ink tank, you have to half the half. So I'm going to put up all the equations on the screen so you guys can have a look and see how long it takes for half an ink tank to be refilled and a quarter of ink to be refilled. These are usually the things you're going to want to care about, because the majority of the time, if you're in some sort of ink battle and you've ran out all your ink, instinctively you only just refill a little bit, and usually in this case it'll just be a quarter of your ink tank. So being able to refill that as fast as you possibly can will definitely help you in those fights. So of course, as you guys should know with, you know, making builds and such like that, putting however many Ink Recoveries and however many other perks onto your gear builds is entirely personal preference. Some people would just prefer to not wear any Ink Recovery at all because maybe it just doesn't suit them, and some people may actually want it, you know. It's kind of a thing where you just kind of have to figure out what you like in general. You don't have to follow anybody else's builds and such like that and say it has to be exactly like this person's build, because it is entirely personal preference and it is entirely based on how you feel and how comfortable are you. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I hope that, you know, the equations and the statistics and stuff like that actually do help you. If you guys did enjoy this video, please like, favorite, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, both in the description below. Do it for both if you're feeling generous. I do a lot of videos like this, and I'm continuing to do a lot more of these. So if you guys do enjoy them, you know, please subscribe. So anyways, that is it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I shall see you guys in a future video.